Hello all and welcome to Coaches8.com. It's the Amateur Sports Broadcasting Network. I'm Pat Childs alongside Frankie Tovar here at the Turlock Regional Sports Complex NorCal NPL Showcase. And Frankie, what a weekend it's been, man.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of high-level competition. We got 10 fields here and a multitude of teams and age divisions. And I got to say, I've been impressed and pleased with all the play I've seen.
And this one will be no different. We have La Miranda 97 Navy girls. They're in the bright pink uniforms, can't miss them, and the black bottoms. We also have Santa Clara Sporting SC Green. They are in the green and white striped uniforms going from left to right. And a quick start here for La Miranda as they have a corner kick. Here it comes. Near post, and the keeper one bounce with the bobble, but the catch. And already a fast start for La Miranda, Frankie.
Absolutely. That's a good sign for all of us here, commentators and sports fans alike. We got close contention here with Sporting and La Miranda busting loose.
So the bright pink uniforms going downfield, a cross, and handled well by the keeper, no problem. And that was number 5 for Santa Clara Sporting. Actually, I'm sorry. Yep. La Miranda. UN. So we'll refer to the pink team, La Miranda Navy girls, as Navy. And Santa Clara Sporting as well, Santa Clara Sporting. And there's a shot, hits the post and goes out of bounds, actually deflected out of bounds. So another corner kick coming up here, Frankie.
It's a nice start for Sporting, and we'll see if they can capitalize. Of course, corner kicks, always nice and always exciting.
So it's going to be number 23 from the corner flag for Sporting, and that
is Jessica Yu.
And here it comes, another near post. Couple ricochets, bobbles, and nice concentration by the goalkeeper and a quick distribution on the near side.
Jane Buckley having to have quick reflexes there. Of course, that's why she's in the keeper position.
And a quick transition downfield, a give and go. They go to the corner, and it's number 9 who chases it down. According to our roster, that's Corsetti, but not sure if that's the right player. We'll have to double check some of these names in this half. Make sure the names match the numbers. Here's a ball to the Coaches 8 press box, and has me a little bit scared there, Frankie.
I actually got hit by a ball last game. Hit me right in the head. Had I been on the field, maybe somebody would have congratulated me for a header, but I am under the tent.
Did they not like something you said, Frankie?
I hope not.
Well, here's some possession out the back for the Navy. And it's interesting, these players are, and we've seen this all weekend long, these players are taught to possess the ball out the back, and we've seen some teams do it successfully, and other teams, in an attempt to keep possession out the back, they give it up, they turn it over, and sometimes pay the price.
And, of course, those teams who are successful are typically the teams who win these matchups, and so we'll look and see which one of these teams will be successful today.
And the first team I think of, Frankie, you actually got to see them this morning. It was the U15 De Anza Forest team that's ranked nationally. Number 15, they played U19. That's the game you saw this morning.
I actually called that game alongside Eddie Ruiz, and it was a very interesting matchup. The U15 girls scoring in the first minute, but the U19 ladies able to bounce back and win with a 5-3 score, I believe. And so 8 goals, you don't typically see that type of high output in a soccer matchup, so it was a good start to the day.
So that shot was from far out from Sporting.
And Sporting, of course, based off the Portugal team, and I'm a little biased. I have some heritage, and I actually really like those jerseys.
They kind of remind me of rugby jerseys, Frankie.
Absolutely, kind of old school.
Yeah, I like him too. Trying to escape a couple players was the midfielder for the Navy girls. A shot from just outside the 18, far and beyond the goal. That was number 13 for Santa Clara. That's Taylor Osnaya. So it seems like this Sporting team is winning the shot count, but no clear shots so far to this point. A lot of deep shots.
And there's still a lot of game to be played, so I'm sure they'll be adjusting those shots, maybe trying to get a little closer and testing the Navy keeper.
Here's possession played at midfield. Navy unable to keep possession for too long. Lots of pressure so far by the Santa Clara Sporting team. And in even matchups like this, Frankie, we see the majority of the game played at the midfield, and that's where we've seen the majority of this one.
Absolutely. Even matchups, midfield, of course. And typically, when it is an even matchup, the teams have to wait for the other to make a mistake so they can seize the opportunity and capitalize.
Here's a pass across. A big chance, one-timer off the left foot of number 11. That's Angelica Gonzalez, and keeper with an easy save.
A little bit more power on that kick. It might have had a better chance of going into the net.
So that was Jessica Lima as the goalkeeper for Sporting.
And of course, this is the final game of this spring showcase. All these ladies out here since yesterday trying to showcase their talent for potential college scouts. And with these ladies being U16, this is the perfect age to make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they can do that in this final match.
A long sprint from the far side of the field for number 24 for Navy. Marjan Hayderi eventually runs into a dead. Some back and forth at the midfield. Frankie, your top moments from the weekend, what are they?
Top moments. Obviously, we talked about the U15 blue team that we watched earlier, the Anza Force. I was just thrilled to open up my Sunday with an 8-goal game.
Yeah.
You don't really get to see that very often. And then another team I got to cover, actually the team I just covered right now, was Juventus, the U17 team. I covered them yesterday and today, and there's a multitude of talent on their roster. Offhand, I could think of Jillian Aguilera and Sarah Feller, who have scored multiple goals in this showcase. And so I was just happy to see this talent out here try and make an impact on the pitch.
And I've heard you guys mention it throughout the weekend, just taking a look at the roster, and actually the GPA is listed on this roster for the purpose of showing the college coaches how smart these girls are and how hard they not only work on the pitch but also in the classroom. And the GPAs are ridiculous. I mean, 3.7, 4.0, 4.4. Is that possible?
I didn't think it was possible. I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit that my GPA was nowhere near a 4.0 or a 4.4 when I was in high school, but that's a growing trend I've noticed among high school athletes. You know, working for the local paper here covering sports, I get to meet a lot of different athletes among different sports, and a lot of student athletes.
Sorry, Frankie, a beautiful shot from about 30 yards out. Holy smokes! Roofs the goalkeeper and puts Sporting up by a score of 1-0 in the matter of a split second.
Very impressive shot, one of the longest I've seen across these 2 days. But as I was saying, the student athlete is really on the rise. A lot of these athletes obviously need to get it done in the classroom to pique the interest of these college recruits. And if you're able to get it done in the classroom as well as on the field or the court, depending on your sport, then it shows these recruits that you have a high level of dedication and you can also multitask.
Really showcasing her talents there was Taylor Snaya, who, jogging back in celebration, must be very pleased with herself after that shot. I think college coaches appreciate that because some girls and some players in general are so afraid, so hesitant in pulling the trigger from downtown, from beyond the 18-yard line and yard box, excuse me. So, pulling the trigger from that far out, roofing the goalie, that says a lot to these college coaches.
That's an instinctive type of thing, I think, with these players. And obviously, these are young ladies, so skills can be developed as they get older. But, yeah, taking those long shots and being confident in yourself, sometimes you can't learn that. It's just something you have.
It's going to be a throw-in on the far side of the field for Navy. It's Grace Sanford. These next 5 minutes so critical for both teams. Sometimes you see in soccer a team who scores, they are very happy and pleased, maybe overjoyed after a big goal like that they kind of relax and play on their heels in the next 5 minutes. Other times you see the team who let in the goal, they are down on themselves, and because of that, they play sloppy. They are sad and depressed that they're down 1-0, and then they drop another goal. So we'll see how each team responds.
Absolutely. And so far, I see neither happening. Both seem to have their foot on the pedal still, so to speak, very early in this match. And so, there's still a lot of games to be played. No reason to give in now.
It's about 10 minutes into this first half. Like you said, so much time left. The glass half full for this Navy team, down 1-0. So, Frankie, you're from Turlock. You live in Turlock and write for the newspaper here. And so you see lots of high school sports. You see sports in general all over the place in this area. And, there's something to say just from somebody who is not from here, who comes out here every few months to watch NPL NorCal Showcase put on. And, you just appreciate looking around. This complex is beautiful.
It is a beautiful complex, and it's a little over a decade old, so not here very long, but in that short time, these fields have seen some high-level competition soccer. This is the home field of Pittman High, which is maybe a few hundred yards to our right, and also Turlock High plays here as well, and they are two teams that always compete for the league championship. And these fields will also be the practice fields for the San Jose Earthquakes player development team.
Cool.
They will be based in Turlock this summer and have home games right down the road at CSU Stanislaus. So, if only these fields could talk, they could tell you some really nice stories about some really nice games.
They definitely are well kept. And Navy putting the pressure on deep inside Sporting defense, and they are rewarded. Looking for the punch as cleared away by Sporting, and Sporting defense has done a fantastic job here, only wanting to keep possession on their way out. These fields, I came here early Saturday morning. Actually, I came here Friday to start setting up for this Coach's Aid broadcast, and I walked onto the field and was amazed. It feels like we're playing soccer on a golf course.
Yes, the maintenance crews do a very nice job of keeping this grass well upkept, and just Turlock in general. These aren't the only showcases or tournaments here on these fields. Turlock is somewhat of a mecca for soccer with youth and travel leagues, so these fields are put to use regularly.
So Sporting trying to create some havoc inside the defense of the Navy, but Navy holding their own. They boot the ball to midfield, outnumbered, outmanned. She slips. Back and forth, and both teams trying to settle down now, in a long-distance shot by number 2 of Sporting, Brittany Carty, with her first, actually that's her second shot of the game.
And you would think, why would you take that shot? Not a lot of power on it, not a chance to make it in, but if you don't take the shots, you can't make the shots.
That's a good point. I was about to go crazy as a breakaway was about to set loose, but called offsides is number 13, Nayeli Cruz. Now, you're not going to score in this beautiful game of soccer unless you shoot the ball, so you're right about that, Frankie. This long ball played beautifully to the corner, chasing it down. The cross, far post, and the header, a moon ball, and the keeper is there. But beautiful soccer played by Sporting.
Sporting is just on the attack. They are not relenting, and they already have one goal, and if they keep this up, I foresee another one falling into the net.
That was a clear push from behind. The cross was perfect. The ball played to the corner was perfect. And the head ball went straight up. Of course, can only be so tall.
Absolutely.
But there is a player behind Osnaya who, if maybe called Osnaya off the ball, she could have had a nice shot, a clear shot, more reasonable shot. But at the same time, you don't know if your teammate's going to be able to get to it. As the goalkeeper well off her line there, that's Lima, gets some help from the defense, and getting it back is number 24 for the Navy. Plays it crossbar post. Nobody's home. It's a nice ball played by Haydari. Keeping it in bounds is Cressetti. Taking it back is Sporting. Had to give a lot of credit, Frankie, where not a lot of people like to give credit to, and that's the officiating that we've seen this weekend. Probably the toughest job in sports, and they've done a fantastic job all weekend long. They know the purpose of this weekend is to allow these players to showcase their talents, and so they've let the girls play this weekend, which we appreciate too as commentators.
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing worse than when the referees get too involved in the game. You always want to see the outcome be decided by the players and not a call. And as you said, so far, physical matchups these 2 days, but not a whole lot of interference from the referees.
A clearance from the back for Sporting. Taking it right back is Navy. Some high pressure here now. Number 6 trying to play that ball over the defense. Tough ball to play by Jessica Minot. It seems like, Frankie, that this Navy team is a little bit too anxious. They see an opportunity offensively and they want to score like that. It seems like they're missing a few steps along the way.
Absolutely, and I'm sure the fact that they're behind at the moment adds to that. Maybe a little desperation mode trying to climb out of that hole. But again, patience is a virtue in the game of soccer, and sometimes you have to wait for things to present themselves before you try to attack.
Maybe even sometimes a couple simple passes can force the defense to unposition themselves, and then holes and opportunities will show up. Now we'll see if the Navy can create another opportunity here. They play possession well. Holbrook at the midfield. Now 17 Larson switching fields, and the speedster on the far side, Haydari, gets cut off, and Sporting takes the ball back at midfield, and referee says just out of bounds.
And to follow that thread about patience and setting it up, you can liken it to boxing, if you will. Not very smart to come out swinging for the fences for that knockout punch. It's always nice to set up your game plan, so to speak, with some jabs and some body shots. So we'll see if these teams can do that, proverbial speaking, here on the field.
Frank, are you a boxer?
I was actually raised in a boxing gym. Yes, I never competed, but a very strong background in the sport, and it's one of my favorite to watch. Many have abandoned boxing for MMA. I have not. I enjoy both sports.
Hey, what a beautiful ball, but just offsides. It's the matter of 1 yard at most, and it was number 9 who gets called for it, Cressetti. You know, and I'm saddened by that. I enjoy good. I enjoy watching boxing match more so than the MMA. But you're right. You see the MMA sport really increasing in popularity.
And I think a big reason for that is MMA is on cable and network TV, a lot of exposure. People aren't really aware of who the boxers are or why they should be watching them. So it might be a a matter of a business model.
Well, these young ladies are getting some exposure this weekend thanks to CoachesAid.com. We encourage you to browse the Coaches Aid website, see what else we have to offer. We sell DVDs, individual highlight reels of all games this weekend. So make sure you purchase your DVD at the DVD store and also watch this game on demand 5 to 7 business days. Here's a chance for Navy. Jumping on her horse far side is Haderi. Gets cut off. Beautiful save by Lima. Tough angled shot by Haderi.
And Lima not folding the pressure, getting both mitts on the ball and away from the goal.
So threat's not over. It's number 9 now. Cressetti on the far side. Corner kick coming up. Huge chance here for Navy. They are seeking the equalizer. Nice ball near post and cleared away. Right back to Cressetti. The touch, the cross, and deflected out of bounds. Take 2 from the corner flag.
And obviously, Navy would like to even the score. Nobody wants to go into halftime down. You have all those minutes to think about the fact that you're trailing, and it can affect you psychologically. And as we know, there's more to athletics than just physical ability. A lot of it is the psychological aspect.
Great job by the goalkeeper, Lima, who brings the ball in right on the goal line. That's a scary spot to make a save because there's no room for error. And on the transition off the corner kick, which you oftentimes see, Sporting can't capitalize now. Trying to get the ball back. They do so with Carty. It's actually going to be I think a goal kick for Navy. Is it always this hot out here, Frankie?
Yeah, you know what? This is actually one of the warmer weekends we've had here in a while, but this is actually nothing compared to summer. It's about 80, maybe 82 right now. In the thick of summer, we can get well into triple digits, and I'm talking 108, if not higher.
Wow.
And so the Central Valley heat is very real, and I'm sure these girls are thankful they're not playing in that heat.
Yeah, it could be much worse. We shouldn't really complain.
Not to mention there's a nice little breeze rolling through here every now and then.
Must be nice for these players. It sure is sunny out here. And, Coach's Aid team has bathed themselves in sunscreen, and that has helped some of us. Others who forgot to do so, is myself included, and I'm sure I'm going to have a red face tomorrow.
Well, hopefully that red face turns into a nice little tan in the days after.
There you go. I hope so. So Sporting trying to penetrate here, and Navy not impressed. They will try to possess the ball out. Holbrook to the far side. Haderi keeping it in bounds. Possessing the ball backwards, and a boot to midfield. Back and forth, back and forth. This game, a matter of 1 goal difference between these two teams. Sporting up 1-0, but it could easily be 1-1 or even 2-1 in the opposite direction.
And Navy just keeps pushing forward, and why wouldn't they? All it takes is one mistake from Sporting or one open look to change the tide of this game.
We're going to take a quick second to thank our sponsor. Pro-Am Beach Soccer. What a cool sponsor to have, especially for this tournament. Providing 7 dates for the best team-building competitive recreational soccer activity that exists. Join all the clubs figuring it out and sign up today at proambeachsoccer.net. Beach soccer. 2 things I like, Frankie. Can't go wrong with Pro-Am Beach Soccer.
It sounds like a lot of fun, although it sounds difficult as well.
That's a workout, man.
I've had some experience with beach volleyball, so I can only imagine what soccer would entail.
Right, it sounds great, and it is great, but I could see myself, I'm not very much in shape. which is why I grew up playing goalie. Didn't like the whole running thing. So maybe I'll just play goalie in this Pro-Am Beach Soccer League. Because it's open to all ages. All age
absolutely. That's great. So you do have a background in soccer yourself, huh?
Yep. Played pretty much my whole life in soccer, and mostly majority of it was played in the goalie position. It's great to see soccer in California because you hear so much about it growing up. I didn't grow up in California. I lived everywhere else in the world, but outside of Chicago, Colorado, East Coast, a little bit of the South, and what I've learned since being out here is that this is the best soccer in the nation, right here in California.
Absolutely. From the South to the North, there are just a plethora of top-level soccer teams, and it's been a joy to watch some of them these past 2 days.
Referee waving his finger at a player or coach. Can't tell. It's going to be a free kick out the back for Navy. Number 17, Larson. Sporting getting it right back. Looking for the open space is Carty. Finding the open space. Lift off. The ball goes far and wide. So going down the final stretch of this first half, a couple substitutions come in for Sporting. Last game that I broadcasted on the other field, Field 7, was a very exciting conclusion. It was Marin versus Davis. And the first goal of the game came by Marin in the last 5 minutes of the first half. And the equalizer by Davis came with 1 second left. And I know it was 1 second because after Davis scored, the ref literally blew his whistle.
And that is the definition of nail-biter.
Yep.
And performance under pressure.
What it made me think of is that a lot of these teams, they get really tired in the last 5-10 minutes of each half, and that's when the other team can take advantage. Sporting trying to do that here, but Navy escapes with number 23 out the back. That was Duncan. Putting it right back is Carty from downtown, left-footed, puts it over the crossbar into the playground. Watch out, kids. Much credit to NorCal, NPL, NorCal Premier League, putting on another great successful showcase here at the season's end, and also the start of a new spring season. Nice cross. Penalty stripe by head ball, and keeper with the save.
Yes, this is my second showcase I've covered here with NorCal. Was here a few months back for the boys showcase, and I gotta say, with both of them in mind, this has been great competition and a great organized event.
Yeah, that NorCal November showcase was one to remember. Great soccer from, once again, all over the NorCal area. And a little bit different in terms of weather and the field conditions because it rained the entire week before, if I remember correctly. And these fields still in great condition, but by the end of the weekend, they're a little bit slushy, a little bit sloppy because these players running all over the place.
And, of course, not much rain here now for Turlock, California, in the record-setting drought. I'm sure many residents here would love some rain.
Yeah.
But in terms of soccer, it's done well for the field. 2 days of competition, and the fields are still holding up.
You're right. Now, Navy trying to possess the ball out the back. Too many passes, seemingly, and Sporting eventually figured it out. Took it away. Navy trying to get it right back, and they do. Back and forth at the midfield, and a takedown. The ref blows his whistle. Free kick for the Navy. Navy trying to move up in numbers here.
in a kind of calm day here, kind of like the calm after the storm. The storm being these 2 days of competition as we wind down this final game.
This somehow almost gets through. Last defensive efforts by number 17, Larson. Sporting in business. A mistouch. Price possesses out. Sporting steals it back. Nice turn by Gonzalez. There's a lot of youngsters tuned in to coachesaid.com, and here's a little tip for you. This ball gets blasted to the other side of the field, and it was a nice shielding there by, I think that was number 5, Jasmine Gonzalez. She received a pass. She felt the heat, a defender on her back. What she did such a great job of was shielding the ball, using her body, using her arms to keep distance and separation between the ball and the defender. And because she used her body, she had an extra second to get a nice crisp pass off. So youngsters out there, a tip to you is to use your body, and his slip, and the goalkeeper saves the shot on the ground.
And Navy may have gotten away with one right there. The ball bounces a little differently. It might move past the keeper and into the net.
Yeah, you're right. A heads-up play by the Sporting forward. I'm trying to make out her number. I think that's number 13. But nope, actually number 23, who's unfortunately a mystery player to us in this first half. We'll try to figure out who that is. Here's a free kick and trying to lift over the goalie and a head/hand save. And with this save, it's going to be a corner kick taken by number 13, Osnaya. And actually, number 23 is Grace Duncan. So thanks to a proud parent next to us, it's Grace Duncan who took the shot, and we know that she has a couple shots to this point. Nothing doing on the corner kick. Frankie, I think that lots of teams put lots of thought into the corner kick. And it's such a great opportunity to score. So dangerous because the intentions of a corner kick is that you can put the ball inside the 6-yard box and just on one strike from the corner kick. But lots of teams try to mix it up and try the short pass off the corner kick and try the dummy sometimes. I'm not always a fan. I mean, it's a great opportunity by itself.
It seems on paper like a good strategy, but I very rarely see it kind of follow through or work to their advantage when they do it in the midst of a game.
Now it's number 24 from Sporting. Trying to get a clear cross off. And another corner kick coming up here. For Sporting, that goes too far. Out of bounds. So, takedown. Ref says play on.
Number 4 just a little too short there. Couldn't quite reach the ball with her head.
So it's going to be a free kick out the back. Sporting, nice ball, top of the 18. Getting some space in the shot. Oh, just wide.
And a couple of teammates in position, just not exactly where they needed to be.
Right, that would have been a very effective far post pass. Nobody's home. Another opportunity brewing. Here's a shot. Save. That's Jane Buckley. She's had a fantastic showing here in the first half. Nice communication here. Trying to spread out her team from the back. Navy taking it back. Possession's played. And the long ball. Oh, just offsides. It's Crissetti. We had a pretty good view of that, Frankie. I think I blinked and missed it, but it was really close.
Questionable offsides call, very, very close. Obviously, parents of Navy over here questioning the referee, but what the ref says goes.
Crissetti's been called offside several times. And it's going to be a corner kick coming up for Sporting. We'll see what they'll pull off here on, oh, excuse me, no, throw-in. Could be just as effective. No, it's going to be a free kick out the back for the Navy.
And Navy with a few opportunities but unable to execute and finish. The half is nearing, and they're still down.
An early goal by Sporting is what separates these two teams to this point. The Navy nice couple passes and a leading pass a few feet too far intended for Rivera. It seems like this Navy team, they have the right idea. They know to possess the ball, but sometimes too much possession can eventually cause a turnover. We've seen that a little bit from them in this game, but they have the right ideas, Frankie.
Yeah, they usually know when to pull the trigger, when to hit the pass, when to take the shot. And sometimes just 1 second of hesitation can mean the difference between a success on offense or a turnover.
Yeah, that's a good point, and sometimes it's even a touch. One touch too much, it can be the difference. As number 4, I think, Rivera takes a hard hit. She gets right back up. She's a trooper. And a free kick, a big chance for the Navy. Nice ball. Keeper not fooled. Nice read by Lima. Looking for the quick transition, but doesn't see the option, and a big boot. Big boot. Here comes Sporting.
And Sporting would love to notch another goal by halftime.
Just for some insurance. And some wrestling there between Sporting and a Navy player. Ref little bit late in calling the foul. Jogs back with a smile on his face. Looks at his whistle, and I think that'll just about do it for the very first half of this one. Frankie, thoughts?
Very impressed so far. Sporting obviously getting that first goal, and so able to play accordingly and kind of protect that lead. Although I think Navy has a very good shot of equalizing it. They just need to get that right combination of position and luck, and sometimes that's what Sporting is all about.
So the NorCal NPL Showcase brought to you by California Football Golf Association. Check out next month's official tournament at Cherry Island Golf Course. April 6th kicks off the season, and statewide official rankings and qualifications begin. Visit footgolfcalifornia.com. Also, Pro-Am Beach Soccer celebrating 10 years with all sold-out events in 2013. Don't miss their inaugural event in Las Vegas in October 2014. Check them out at proambeachsoccer.net and on Facebook. So make sure you come back. Stay tuned for a second half that you do not want to miss right here at Coaches8.com ASBN. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Pat Childs alongside Frankie Tovar here for the final half of the NorCal NPL Girls Showcase here in Turlock, California. It's 1-0. Sporting on top of Navy. And Frankie gave us his 2 cents at the end of the first half, pretty much saying that there's a whole nother half to play. This time Sporting will start with possession here. And the second half is officially underway. Hope that you have found your comfy chair, favorite snack, beverage of choice, and enjoy all the sights and sounds brought to you by Coaches8.com. The pressure by Navy gets them possession back here. And the through ball. Here's a chance for the Navy, but the referee calls offsides. And you know what, Frankie? I have to agree to disagree with that call.
That's his second questionable call in terms of offsides here, and the Navy coach is visibly displeased with that one.
Yeah, and rightfully so. He is just camping out at exactly where the line is for that offsides call. So he had a great view of it. Of course, the linesman over here also had a great view of it. So it's just one opinion over the other. There's only one that counts, as you pointed out. So Navy trying to put the pedal to the metal here to start the second half. The defense was ready for that through ball.
And we'll see if Navy made any halftime adjustments to try and climb out of that 1-goal hole. Typically, Sporting with the lead, if this was a high school game, you would see them maybe play back and play defense and protect the lead. But since this is a showcase and these players want to show off their talents, I don't expect that to happen.
So I'm going to put you in the shoes, Frankie, of the head coach for Lamorinda Navy. That's Mohammed. What would you tell your team at halftime?
I would tell them to be more aggressive and just push and keep pressure on Sporting. Obviously, they've done that a little bit in the first half, so you don't want to change too much. Just start taking a little more risk, take more shots, because you never know when a goalie might make a mistake or a defender might find himself out of position. And so just keep the effort going, really.
So how about Jose Hernandez, the coach of Sporting? What would he be telling his players?
Be a little bit of the same, but since they have the one lead, I would say don't take any unnecessary risks. Unless you feel that you can pull it off. And, of course, if you're deep in the opponent's side of the field, you can do that. But for Sporting, I would say just keep doing the same thing as well, because obviously it's working up to this point.
You know, lots of times we see this all over the place where a team will have a 1-0 lead going into the second half, and they kind of go back on their heels. They're almost too content with a 1-0 lead. And what I like to say is a good offense is the best defense. If the ball's on the offensive side of the field, then your defense doesn't need to do anything. So we'll see if Sporting has that same thought process here in the second half. And you see quick possession played out the back. And not always a clear way to go. So the keeper just boots it to midfield, where Sporting will get it right back with Gonzalez.
And it's a warm 82 right now, 82 degrees, but both these teams have been going 100, putting maximum effort on the field. And that's exactly what you want to see at a showcase like this.
Yeah, you're right. And this is the last game of the day, and these players have been out here since yesterday morning. So nice tackle there by Sporting. So you see these girls starting to get a little bit tired out there, but still plenty of energy left. So free kick out the back here by Sporting. Number 5, Jasmine Gonzalez. Nice ball to the corner, chasing it down, keeping it, no. Can't keep it in bounds. So that's actually Jasmine Gonzalez chasing it down. I must have misread the number of the player who kicked the ball. And it's number 24, who I'm excited to see on our side of the field. Hideri, who showed off her speed in the first half. Now she's on our side of the field, so we'll see her go into turbo mode, I'm sure. Nice ball. And the referee calls offsides a little bit late, and because of that, Frankie, they're going to get even more from the coach, Mohammed.
Well, this only adds to the frustration of them playing from behind. And, when you get calls like that, it's important not to get down on yourself or try and play the victim, so to speak. You want to keep your focus on the game and not on what the referee is calling.
And you know what? I'll step into the linesman's defense. I thought she was just a hair offsides. It's a nice move there by Holbrook, but turns it over. Defender on their back is Mano. A boot out the back from the goalkeeper, Buckley. Here comes this nice breeze here, which we've learned to appreciate.
Do you know what the lens cover is for that camera over there? Around.
Switching the fields is Morgan. Hideri, possession with Morgan. Dangerous pass across the center of the field and a turnover. Here comes Sporting. Ball left behind her teammate, and Buckley comes out, cleans it up. And this possession, Frankie, I'm not always a huge fan, because there she was forced to boot it upfield anyway. Why didn't she just punt the ball further to begin with?
I'm sure if you asked her that, she'd be able to tell you. You know, there's always different strategies on the field. And sometimes you just do things in the heat of the moment.
I think well, here comes Sporting again. Pushed off the ball, and good defense by Navy. Here's the cross. And the clearance. And Airy. Too many defenders to dribble past. Here's Morgan. Switching fields, nice ball. Defense not fooled.
All right, and this seems as good a time as any for the trivia question of the day. When did organized women's soccer take root in the United States? And if you like a little bit of a hint, I can let you know that it took root in Europe in the 1930s, and it took root internationally in the 1950s. But when did it take root in the United States?
Wow. That's a tough one. That's no gimme. So when did organized soccer from the youth level or the professional?
I believe it is professional. You don't want to make the questions too easy. Everybody can just go on to Google and get those answers.
So do we have some room for error?
Looking for a decade.
Decade.
A specific decade.
In this service, one bouncer to Buckley's mitts, and Buckley thought about the quick possession but punched the ball instead. Out of bounds, thrown coming up. It's going to be number 10. Nope. So she's going to be centered as some substitutions come on. And the cross, one bouncer, keeper's there. And there's a quick distribution. They give it up. Nice defense by Morgan. She stuffs Carty, who's slow in getting up. There she is. Back up on her feet. And they pass back. Lima just boots the ball out of bounds, and a throw coming up.
And Navy not able to attack Sporting's goalie as they probably would like to in the second half. I'm sure they would say much of that has to do with the 3 offsides calls that were called against them, but regardless, they need to get something moving here soon.
Yeah, it seems like this Sporting team, their defense is playing pretty high, so that's giving Navy a chance to play that through ball, but they've been called off sides like Frankie said. They just have to time their runs better. Going in strong was Chak. There's a through ball to the far side. Timing her run perfect. Here's the cross. A little bit too high. Chak is there to clear it out.
So they got the first part of that play right. Unfortunately, the cross not executed as well as they would have liked.
Holbrook trying to get through now. Crissetti. Nice moves. Trying to get through, and the shot goes, over the crossbar, and linesman lifts his flag. Not sure the reasoning. May be a free kick coming up here for
That'd be some
Navy.
good fortune for Navy. I know that she would like that shot back if she could. And a free kick it is from number 9.
That's Crissetti. 3, a woman wall, and Holbrook wants to make her presence known in the wall for the Navy. Here it comes, and opportunity wasted as it sails into the playground, and Crissetti disappointed in herself.
Those opportunities don't present themselves often, and so when they do, you need to make sure you seize the moment.
So now Sporting trying to possess out the back, and Navy pressuring. Sporting escapes. They play the long ball, far side. Good defense there by Minot. Here comes Sporting to get it back. Here's the cross and a chance. Goalie Buckley off the line. Interrupts, and a nice save by Buckley. The shot by Gonzalez. And now Navy has a transition opportunity. Nice ball. Huge chance. Far side, left-footed shot, far post. What a diving save by Lima. The shot was by UN. Oh, not in my house.
And back-to-back saves from both keepers. Very impressive.
Sporting. The cross deflected. Need out. Holbrook passes out to UN. Back to Holbrook. To midfield interrupted. The right idea trying to switch fields. Sporting wins the battle.
These two teams playing very physical. Sporting knows that they only have a 1-goal lead and they can't make a mistake. And Navy knows that they're just one play away from equalizing the score.
Substitution for Sporting. Nice move here. Ball down the line. Jumping on her horse is Price, getting to it first. Across. Far and away. So goal kick coming up for Sporting. About 20 minutes left, roughly.
Still plenty of time for Navy to get back into the game.
And just booted away. Cleared from the back. Outnumbered. And Jasmine dribbles out of bounds. So it's going to be Navy ball. Back to Sporting. And it'll stay with Sporting once again, creating some opportunities here midway through the second half. Looking for the insurance. And here's the cross near post. The one-timer goes through. Not the full foot from the Sporting player.
Now some great footwork to set up that cross.
Go Grace, go Grace.
It was number 24. Goes out of bounds. Substitution for both teams coming in. Near side. Asking for some help. Doesn't get it. And this is going to be a corner kick coming up here, Frankie. The pass back goes off the keeper's foot.
Maybe the perfect opportunity for Navy to get onto the board.
Here it comes. A little bit high, the head ball. Back out. Trying to cross it again is Crissetti, but It's deflected out of bounds. Another opportunity from the corner is the Navy with Grissetti.
And I'm sure Grissetti will try and place that ball a little better this time around.
Nice moves here. Getting the cross off, but goes out of bounds once again, deflected off of Sporting. So you have to figure, Frankie, if Navy has enough chances from the corner flag, maybe they'll take advantage of one.
The odds are in their favor.
It's a moon ball and keeper with the punch. Sporting escapes. Touch last off of Navy.
And not much time in the second half now. Reaching the latter stages of this match. You gotta wonder when Navy's gonna try and make a move for that tying score.
And a bad pass. Sporting the shot. Buckley's there. Nice positioning. Quick possession played. Nice leading pass. But the defender gets there first. As Juarez, who beats out Rivera.
And Rivera was just a step too slow there.
Lima really trying to take every last second off that clock. Waits to pick up the ball. The big old boot. One bounce, a big bounce, and Sporting can't beat out Morgan. Morgan's quick. That was Wong, who was a little bit outsized, and Grissetti gets through. Far side, here's a chance. The goalie to beat, tough angle, the shot. Too far from the far post.
And we've seen Navy with a few chances here in the second half. A lot more than they had in the first. But again, as you've seen in that last play, just unable to finish.
I don't know. I was looking at the score. I would say like 5 minutes.
And here comes another chance. Defense is catching up and causes number 11 Gonzalez to lose possession.
Those are the moments you wait for. The defender making a mistake and slipping. It looked like a wide open opportunity for Navy. Unfortunately, just wasn't meant to be.
And just booted across field out of bounds, and that can actually take some time off the clock there, Frankie.
Very, very smart move. And we might as well take this time to provide these listeners with the answer to that trivia question.
Can I take a guess here?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to guess the 70s.
The 70s. Wow, that was a great guess. It is the 1970s for the USA.
Yes.
And I think that's an interesting note because Europe had about a 40-year head start, and yet here we are in 2014, and the USA is the top tier country for women's soccer. So we were able to close that gap rather quickly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's I didn't know that. Well, I guess I never thought about it because I did know it if I already guessed earlier. But pretty cool. It's a good trivia question. So the USA has won 2 World Cups in women's soccer. Runner-up the last attempt, which was, I have to admit, devastating. They lost to Japan.
Can't win them all.
No.
You can win most of them.
Yeah. And it was a good story from Japan's side. The underdogs.
In women's soccer, one of the few sports in the United States where the women actually do better than the men.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I guess baseball and softball on the world stage could be another. The World Baseball Classic never favors the USA, but I think the softball team's pretty good.
There's a point there.
Well, here they come, Navy. Just not organized and transitioning upfield, and you hear the wind is picking up.
It's roaring.
So it's Navy, as of late, winning the possession battle, but Sporting on the attack and the cross, the pressuring of Buckley, and an illegal hit to Buckley as the illegal move. The guilty party is number 13, Osnea. Referee with a quick word. Nice job by Buckley, though. Have to give credit to where it is due. And here's Morgan trying to play the ball through. And playing possession backwards was Price. Navy trying to put it together here in the final stretch of the final game of the NorCal NPL Showcase. And a collision. That looked like it hurt there, Frankie.
That was a big-time collision, but she's up. And these ladies out here, very, very tough. Look at the speed on 25 from Navy. It's wheeling all over the place. It's Gracie Greening.
And a possession scary moment. And another scary moment. It's going feet first into Lima. It was Morgan, and the ref calls a foul. So in the corner, using her body is number 20, Alaris Gonzalez, who earns her team a goal kick and some substitutions, a few substitutions coming in for Navy, trying to catch Sporting. Here comes Navy. Touch out of bounds off Sporting. Navy ball.
Can't be much more time left on the clock. So Navy looking to capitalize as soon as they can. I doubt they want to leave this showcase with a loss.
Especially without scoring a goal. A goal would be nice for them. And dangerous there by Lima, taking lots of touches as that head ball looked like it hurt.
Looked more like a face ball.
Yeah. Looks like she's okay. Good hustle there. She's unable to keep it in bounds. Sliding effort.
In substitution, number 5 for Navy, who took the ball to the face. That's Bailey Yuen, is walking off.
I think she needs a second there on the sideline, so hopefully she's okay. Nice passing here. Will it turn into something? I think they got themselves a throw-in. Maybe not. And here's Morgan. The shot. Oh, just over the crossbar. Was Morgan with the left foot.
She had the right idea, just aim was a little off.
So Lima. Just a few minutes remaining now. Nice give and go. But the final touch too much. And an offsides is called before. So the play was called off. That touch out of bounds. A nice ball through. Here's a chance to touch. No, keeper Lima comes out of nowhere. Comes up with a big save.
Putting herself in harm's way for that save.
And a quick distribution. And a takedown at midfield. It's going to favor Navy. Yellow card taken out for Jasmine Gonzalez.
She really put her shoulder into that one.
So it's Prince, about 7 yards short of midfield. He's got a foot. Leaves this one short of the 18, and Holbrook gives it up. Gets it back. Plays it forward, and offsides. It's the, I guess, appropriate for what we've seen so far, Frankie.
I believe that's maybe their 5th offsides call of the second half alone.
Yeah. And Mohammed giving his 2 cents. And tripping up, and no, the final whistle sounds, and it's Santa Clara Sporting taking care of business of La Miranda 97 Navy girls. So, Frankie, what are your final thoughts, my man?
This game, very well played by Sporting. They got that early goal, and they never turned back after that. They maintained possession, and then overall, the showcase, just great showings from all the teams that I got a chance to watch. High caliber players, high caliber teams. And I'm sure a lot of college recruits got some notes filled out for themselves. So.
I'm sure they did. So everybody, thanks for watching Coaches8.com, the NPL Showcase. We'll see if we can get some an interview or two here with some players of choice. So stay tuned, hopefully, for that as we try to wheel them in. And thanks for watching Coaches8.com. For the whole Coaches 8 crew, Frankie Tovar, I'm Pat Childs saying so long. Thanks for watching. And welcome back to the post-game show. I'm with the star for Sporting, Tatiana, who scored the go-ahead goal in the first half. First, Tatiana, take us through that goal.
Just during the moment, I knew we had to score, and so whenever I got the opportunity, we had to do it. And so I saw the ball, I went for it. You know, there's nothing to lose, and so I took a shot, and I got a goal.
So how do you think you guys played this weekend?
Overall, there's a lot of stuff to work on, but this last game, we really pushed through it and we fixed all the problems, but we do have some stuff to work on.
So a very tough, hard-fought match, very hot, sunny outside. How were you guys able to prevail down the stretch of the game?
We just kept pushing through. I think the other previous games kind of pushed us, and we just kind of kept going. We knew we couldn't give up. We knew we could do it. So
Awesome. Last question. Goals and expectations. I know you guys have a season coming up, right?
Yeah. We just have to keep scoring, just keep taking those opportunities, and we never know what will happen. And so we just have to keep shooting, and things will happen.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tatiana. Good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that'll do it. The NorCal NPL Showcase in the books, the final game. Thanks for watching. CoachesAid.com.